What you been making, man? The dumbest thing I've made in a long time. Yeah, I don't even know what to tell y'all. After the last backpack, I thought it'd be worthwhile to think about other things that I've been making and ways I've been keeping myself busy, and this represents one of those. To be clear, this is sort of a chest rig. Doesn't carry plates. It's fairly adjustable. Boy, does it need adjusting. But it's meant to carry some level of gear. So we've got comms with a radio and a holster over here. More on that in a second. We've got a little poker. We've got a utility pouch that's got trauma shears and, like all sorts of like other bits and bobs. And it's got room for a bunch more on here. And it's meant to just sort of keep things away from your hands. So if you're out doing stuff and you need access to this, it's a tool belt. It's a tool belt for your chest, I think, practically speaking. It's made almost entirely by me. I think everything, all the pouches and stuff on this are by me. Harnesses by me, all by me. I did it a little bit weird. There's a bib on the front of it. So this whole front thing here, maybe you can see there's some Velcro on the front here that like this guy is clipped to. This is a bib that flips down. So normally when you see these, you get guys with like magazines across the front. But in this case, you can undo a couple of G-hooks on the side here, like that, which are adjustable. And then this whole panel will drop down in the front. And then you've got the actual like chest plate exposed, right? So again, no plate in here, but you get the panel in here. So this, underneath all of this is a, let's see here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 vertical rows of MOLLE. This is 1-inch webbing with Velcro loop sewn onto it. And it's MOLLE stitched down the middle in 1.5-inch channels. And I've made some series of pockets and pouches that some of them are just Velcro. So that guy goes there. It's got hook and loop on the back, and it's got hook on the back and it's got loop on the front. So when I bring this bib up, which has hook on the front, this gets sandwiched. It's Velcro to the back here, and it's Velcro to the front here. So it's much more secure than you would think. And this guy can sort of hide whatever mess is underneath, and also further constrain and all of that. It's also adjustable and removable. So if you want to make this even slicker, or you don't want it in the way, it just Velcros right off the back. Let me get my comms out of here. Sorry, doing this on the fly. You can take that off and run it ultra lightweight. So now there's no bib on the bottom, there's no extra bulk. All your stuff is sort of exposed. I don't have any side panels on it. There's no cummerbunds. Again, not armor. But in this configuration, it's a little bit lighter. It's a little bit more exposed. So if you had a flip-down admin pouch or whatever that you wanted to mount on here, you could for sort of ease of use with all of that. These are all like, this is a super dumb little pouch, mostly for a battery pack that goes in here. This guy's got a couple different layers of organization inside it that lets you keep different things separate from each other. You get room for a bunch of pens. I think I've got some first aid gloves down in the bottom in case whatever. And then this, which is a radio holster that I made. It's actually the slickest thing that's on here that I have made, which is basically you got shock cord down the front to like a button that's on a standoff. Let's see if I can show you that. Like that's it. It's on a standoff. So this guy can just clip onto it, but when you pull it out, this is like an adjustable height, like flap of a thing. It's really easy. So the whole radio can just drop in. It's adjustable to different radios with different battery packs, whatever you're doing. Doesn't get in the way of knobs, controls. You can key from the outside of the thing if you want to. So you can just run this here without having to run a separate comm piece on it. It's really versatile. And then this one is actually mounted via a MOLLE stick, which I like very much. I don't know if you've seen these. It's like a stick that you weave in between the rows of MOLLE. So that's like really securely mounted. So I made this. This is the second thing of this style that I made. The back of this, the piece that faces you, is also entirely covered in a swath of 6-inch wide white Velcro as well, which is both smooth against my delicate front, but also lets you run this bib. Right, you could change the height of it in the back to how much bulk you want to be able to wrap in the front. So it just sort of like tacos up on that. And then it gives you another row. This is 2-inch wide, but it's stitched like MOLLE as well. So if you want to clip things to it or put patches on there or mount other bits and bobs on the front of it, you could. You could sandwich up whole bunches of stuff. But this is the second project like that I did. The first project I did was to replace my waist pack for mountain biking. So I ride with a fanny pack instead of a backpack and instead of a frame bag or anything like that. So this thing we can actually here. This is the. Hang on. I know what you need. Yeah. Not bad, right? Okay. This thing is entirely modular as well. So the way I built this is similar to that chest rig, but smaller. So if you take off the shock cord mounted bits, which is a spare tube and my pump, you can actually see underneath that sort of what structure we're working with here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rows of MOLLE here. Again, 1-inch webbing that I stitched Velcro loop on top of, which is then mounted to a panel and stitched on with MOLLE spacing on it. This is an admin pouch that's commercial. You can buy it. It's a couple bucks. And it, for my purposes, is great because it flips down, does that admin thing, and it's got, doggy bags, which are far more handy than you think out there, both for dealing with dog mess, but also various other first aid type things, insulation on your toes when it's cold. Like, there's a lot of uses there. Makeshift gloves if you've got body fluid contact, first aid stuff that you're doing. Got a flashlight in there, got a lighter in there, got a handkerchief in there, and then on the opposite side we got a bunch of tools and whatnot that you might need. Anyway, this whole thing is mounted to this panel that is the pack with a couple MOLLE sticks. See them in here. Yeah, see? MOLLE stick here and a MOLLE stick over here as well, which work really well. It's got a padded back panel that's got spacers to let air go through, and I'm going to point out that this entire panel is replaceable. I've made the entire thing Velcro on. So the panel of the pack is here. It's got Velcro on it, and then the padding actually Velcros to that. So if your padding gets old, funky, gross, saturated, wrong, what have you, you can rip this entire panel off and swap it up to something else really, really, really easily. And because it's hook and loop, like in theory, it could modularly attach to the chest rig that I built. I don't know why you'd want to do that, but maybe you do. Maybe you're out for a heavy day of filming and work and you need all the functionality that you can get. So this has got this one little pouch on it for a spare tube. I've got some shock cord on here, and the shock cord, let me show you. You fold your tube nicely and neatly, and then the shock cord just grabs it, and then you tuck the stray end in, and it just holds your tube just like that. Works great, doesn't move. And I got a couple more shock cord loops that I put at the bottom, and my stupid little specialized pump, which is actually a lovely little thing, I gotta say. Having used it more than I'd like to admit, it can just get shock corded to the bottom down here, like that, and like that. And that doesn't move at all. You get a tidy little pack of a thing, right? You get these wings. You'll notice these wings are made out of the same VX21 that I've been using for lots of my projects. Same 1.5-inch nylon webbing. It's got a Cobra buckle-ish on it. The only thing that I've done to this one, which is kind of neat, which I like, is if you look way over here, there's a little teeny loop. Let's see if I can get that. Yeah, there's a little teeny loop right here of some webbing. Just a little tiny flap of a loop, right? There's a pouch that I built that latches into the edge of the MOLLE that's exposed here under the tube, and then clips into this with a little clip that I've made, and it will hold one of those radios that I had on the chest rig really securely right on your hip right there. So if you were out on a group ride and you wanted people at the front of the group and at the back of the group to be able to comms to each other or whatever, it's really easy to add that on, not have it be a whole bunch of bulk, and have it be the sort of thing that you don't have to have on your hip, and you don't even have to have, and like in theory, and I've thought about this, I may make a water bottle holder to go over on this edge for really hot days when I want to be able to carry another water bottle. In fact, I could do one on either side, I suppose. So anyway, this is this modular panel, which is just, effectively, it's a hip belt with a bunch of MOLLE on it. That's got a way to add padding to it, and that it has a place to mount things to. Is my favorite version of a mountain biking hip pack that I've ever made or used. It's low profile, it has just what I need and nothing I don't. I can reconfigure it for other stuff if I need to. It's versatile, it's rebuildable, it's great. And then once I had built this and understood how this works, I just decided for goofing around purposes to build a chest rig for myself, because who doesn't want to play dress up sometimes with gear? Ooh, what a mess have I made of that with that harness. This is why you don't do things live on camera. Because, right? So there you go. Get your chest rig, drop that bad boy on. Of course, that's not even remotely close to right, but there you go. Yeah, put that guy on there, and off you go. Get the whole rig ready to go. Delightful. I am slowly finding ways to use the couple of yards of VX21 in white that I bought, besides building giant backpacks for myself. I am also, and this is probably another video, beginning to come up with my own design language for bags. We'll do a video about Tom Sachs probably soon. But Tom goes on at length about the design systems that he's built within his studio for how things need to be run there, and a lot of people are adherents to that. There's a lot of, I mean, you can see evidence of that. I think of some of the plywood that's back behind me and some of the cases that are back there. But I think at this point, I am trying to build on what Tom has done with my own design language instead of just copying his or adhering to his standards, which is, I don't know, maybe a sign of maturity, or I don't know what it's a sign of. But anyway, here you go. Two videos in 2 weeks from me after having been dormant for, I don't know, a year or something like that. And neither of them directly about bikes. Although, to be fair, the waist pack really is a biking specific thing. I guess you could use it for other stuff. Anywho. Okay.